Singer-songwriter Nonkhu creates a blend of Afro-pop, R&B and soul.
She fell in love with the stage after seeing Sarafina as a kid, and even though life took her down the path to become an engineer, her passion for music prevailed, and today she's a successful recording artist. Over to you, Nonkhu.
Please do connect with us online if you've got any questions for Nonkhu. Of course, tweet us using the official hashtag Afternoon Express. Go at Afternoon Chat on Twitter, and go to our Instagram page, our Facebook page. We love hearing from you. Nonkhu, come on over.
Hey. Hi, guys.
Hello, gorgeous.
How are you guys?
So lovely to see you.
Girl, that
love
splash
having
of
you. Have
pink
a
is doing
seat.
everything for me right now.
Everything. I love pink.
But you know what else is doing a lot for us here on Afternoon Express?
What
that
is?
Voice, girl.
Thank you. I was so nervous, though.
For what? I mean, I think that you're such a professional at this stage, and you've just worked so hard to get to where you are today.
I have.
So I want to go back to when you were a kid watching Sarafina. I mean, what spoke to you that said, actually, I want to be right up there with the rest of them?
So when we first went there with my mom, it was my first time in a theatre. And I thought I was in Days of Our Lives, The Bold and the Beautiful. And I'm like, oh my God. And then there were people that looked like me on stage. They were wearing my same school uniform I'm wearing, and they looked like me, and they were beautiful, and they were dancing, and they were singing. I was like, yay! And they were, because my name means freedom. So they kept on saying, freedom is coming.
Yay.
And I was like, yeah, they sing about me.
You took it as a prophecy. That's actually beautiful.
Yes, Mom. Like, Ma, they sing about me. They said freedom. So it was like the best day ever. And coming from a township in Mamelodi, and my mom actually making me or taking me to the theatre and seeing a production like that, it was everything. And from then on, I was like, I want to be a singer, but I don't think I could sing like them. Like the way they sang and the way they sounded and the way, how beautiful they were.
Then how did you realize that you could sing? Was it your father who inspired your sound?
Well, I mean, every time I would sing, like, hum along, people were like, oh, you got a nice voice. And I was like, but I knew I wanted to do it. I wasn't sure. So when I decided that I want to be a singer, I called my dad and I was like, I want to be a singer. And you could hear him on the phone going, oh, Lord. And he's like, so give me a demo tape and do like a little bit, like 3 songs with your voice on it and send it to me. And my dad does choral music. So I sent it to him. Well, I did the little demo. Then I went to his house and I gave it to him. He spent 2 weeks. He doesn't say anything. Yes. I was like, he's trying to find like a nice way of saying, don't do it. And then he calls me and he's like, come and see me at my house. So I went and he sat me down. He's like, listen, young Kelly, you can't be a backup singer. I was like, what do you mean I can't be a backup singer? It was that horrible. And he's like, no, you need to be a lead singer.
Wow.
Because I see you there and there and there, so you need to go and do. And that was like almost 10 years ago.
Amazing.
So from then on, I never looked back, and my focus has been on that.
Because your reality could have been completely different.
You
wanted to be a civil engineer.
I didn't want to be one. That was like the safe place.
And that's what you said. I mean, you did 3 years of studying. I mean, that's
I didn't. I didn't even complete it. I dropped out. But that was the safe, you're not going to be poor like other musicians kind of thing.
Nonkhu, you know, when you speak, it just says so much about your tenacity and your story, because coming from Mamelodi, feeling like you don't fit in Mamelodi, and then watching a stage play where you finally saw the representation that you felt lacked, but then again, you still didn't think you were good enough. There's this linear cycle that we keep seeing in your life. I mean, even when you did do engineering, you then were pulled out. So there's been this tug of war happening constantly.
Always.
How do you deal with that tug of war? How do you deal with that reality versus what's going on in your head?
I know, deep in my heart, I know where the end result is going. And I know deep in my heart, everything that I'm doing is leading me to the purpose and the calling that God has. Because I think everybody has a calling, and I think God brings everybody on earth for a certain thing. And some of us go straight there, and some of us go all the way around, and we meander, and then we still get there. So in my head, I know where I'm going. I know the end.
You had your calling.
Yes.
And of course, so you've called your first album.
The calling, yes.
Took you 3 albums to do. What can we hear on it?
3 years. On it, it's me and Dogozo, my producer, and Unkosnati, because all 3 of us were doing the album for the last 3 years. And it's our heart and soul. But mostly, I feel it's like a great representation of who I am. It's a bit of, I'm sad. And a little bit of, oh yeah! And a little bit of, oh, I love love. I'm so romantic. And no, I'm so romantic. I want to kind of, so it's like a representation of who I am. But I still think, I'm just hoping for my next album, people see more of me. But for this one, I was also still exploring the whole music thing, and I was still trying to figure out how I want to sound like. It's a bit of R&B, a little bit of soul, a little bit of Afro-pop, a little bit of this and a little that.
How does Dad feel? How does Dad feel as someone who you've constantly gone back to when it comes to being in music? How does he feel about the calling?
Well, it's hard as hell. Ooh, it's hard. But it's something that has to be done. I know I have absolutely no choice. I can't do anything else but what I'm doing now. And the way things are unfolding, I can't do it any other way because it's God's design. So,
Beautiful.
But it's nice, but it's hard.
Nice perspective, actually. It's just God's design, so resign yourself to what's going to happen in your life with excitement.
And thank you for saying yes to that calling. Now, we've asked you on social media if you've got any questions for Nonkhu, and we've got Lihleli, who asked, do you write songs from things that you've experienced or from other people's experiences?
Both, everybody, like with the production team I had, Undogozo Nokosnati, we and me, it was all about us and how we felt. And we also got other songwriters as well, so it's also about what they felt and if I resonated with what they wrote. There's a song on the album called Dreamer. I really love it because I'm such a dreamer, but I didn't write the song. But, you know, it's like... I felt it.
It resonates with you.
It resonated, so yeah, it's all about what everybody else is experiencing.
And by you singing it, you're making it come to life.
That's actually my favorite song, and I hope people love that song as well when they hear it.
So here you heard it here first. Lihleli, collaboration is key. We've also got a question here from Maram Chera, who said, I hear a lot of rising stars saying that being an artist is very hard sometimes. Is that true? And do you also feel that it's hard?
It is true in a way. But also when you know what you want, right? Like I'm saying, the calling makes everything better. If you are doing it just because you want to be famous, don't do it. If you're doing it because there's a higher thing about it, it's going to be worth all the trouble, like anything else in life.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing your heart and your vocals with us and following that calling. We appreciate it.
We love it. We can't wait to hear more. Coming up after the break, we have Woolies dietitian Cindy Chin back to chat about something many of us don't actually take enough note of, the hidden salt found in a lot of food that we eat. Apparently, our salt rate and our salt levels are incredibly high. Plus, we learn how to make vol au vent.